What it do? Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Live on Sunday. It is I, your greatest host of the known universe, your boy King Crowder, with a Rodeo Cowboy edition. You know I reside in Texas, so I figure we'll talk about it after a fun-filled week. If you are new to the channel, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and most importantly, share the live. Share the live. I hope you got to tune in and enjoy your Sunday. Before we kick off our lesson, let me always start it off like I do with the book of the week. I love business, work business, deal with people, and communication is one of my greatest strengths. Remember, words that sell. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what field you work in, no matter where you live, where you operate, we are all in the sales business. I don't care what facility, what job, what career path you in, those that learn, master, and learn how to communicate and sell will win. You must learn how to up your vocabulary, up your communication skills, up your customer service skills, up how you talk to people, and learn how to seek profitable and become better at your craft or whatever you try to do in your life. Those are the first things, foundation steps I want to tap into. Now, as we get into the live, today's problem is America never fixed its racism problem. So foundational Black Americans became a force and a political unit on how to fix it. The number one thing I want to get into, as we saw the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen, is we solve the story of Jasmine Crockett. If you do not know, she is a DFW congresswoman who decided to come out in the United States of America, going with a platform that we were raised on. I'm a little bit older than most of my viewers, but walk with me, I'm a millennial. Back when I grew up, y'all, there was a such thing as being politically correct, meaning you go along to get along, you don't cause ruckus, you don't do anything to update the status quo. Barack Obama was the president at this time, and he really championed, especially when I was coming up in high school and especially early in college, be nice, be respectable, be political, don't cause problems, get along, solve everything. In the past decade, we've been in the Trump era, and Donald Trump has introduced a new mentality of confrontation. The reason why this is so unique, y'all, because this is the first time in about 60 years since the civil rights movement, we've actually had confrontation at the forefront a lot. Confrontation in politics, confrontation in life, confrontation when dealing with the issues that we currently see affect us all in our current life. And nothing encapsulates this more than a video of a fellow, people call him a Democratic shield, and I've heard that reference to him because he was shilling. But the brother known as Plies is a hip-hop artist in the genre we love, shout out to him. But he had a video that struck a lot of nerves this week, and I want the foundation to be able to give me your take on it. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
But this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't even being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with Black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian?
The foundation. The first thing I want to pause you right there. If I have to ask where you align, you against me. If I had to ask how you feel about a certain subject, who you choose to reside with, who you choose to rock with, I've already answered it. A lot of times in previous history, we would ask these questions on a lighthearted perspective, but in actuality, we know the answer. Plies is giving up to a lot of that pop bubble mentality we didn't understand. Yo, I'm in Texas. Not all, but why do some other ethnicities choose to align different ways? And the reason why this is such a huge deal, y'all, is because if you didn't catch it, Black men can no longer be blamed. Black people can no longer be blamed.
Like, and the reason I say that is because when I used to hear Black and brown people, and I always thought we was like jointed to the hip. Like I always thought we was the black folk, Latino, brown, So I always thought we kind of shared some of the same struggles, same hardships, same, just, we were similar. I remember growing up, all my Latino buddies, they was on what I was on. But now that I look at it, it ain't as clear to me no more. And I'm trying to ask y'all, do y'all feel, Latino brothers and sisters, do y'all feel y'all are more in line with black?
Shout out to the brother. We put Plies on the big screen a couple of winters ago. He could have been cooked and done with his opinion. Don't matter. You right, family. And I'm not disagreeing with you. What I am doing is shedding the light. But we're going to keep cooking up, man. Shout out to my brother follower, man. He tap in with me so often.
Black folk? Or do y'all feel like y'all are now more aligned with Caucasians? And I don't know if y'all feel like y'all more aligned with Caucasians or if y'all inspired to be more like them than y'all do black folk.
When people show you who they are, you believe them. Stop questioning people. Stop trying to seek validation. Stop trying to understand. When you have shown me how you rock, how you feel, how you align, stop questioning it, y'all. I know it is in our nature to want to figure out, but we have to understand different communities, once they show you behind closed doors, not all, but some that show you, you be quiet. Yes, you judge people. Yes, you ask questions. Yes, you watch how they move.
I don't know. I'm fine with it either way. I'm just trying to get clarity on it because it's not as clear to me now than it used to be. Like I used to think.
I don't know how much more clear it got to be, brother. The election results, the cultural reference results, how people talk to you results, who you vote for, the analytics. How much more proof do you need, Ply? Because I noticed when you talk to other brothers that didn't go along with the platform, you ain't asked for no proof. You just told them they was wrong. You stood on business and gave your opinion, but now I want to see and I want to holler at my Latino brothers and your tone, your energy, your feeling is so much more different. That's why a lot of cats from that New York, that Florida, that California vibe, a lot of down south, even Texas, I have to say it, as not a born Houstonian down here, a lot of these Sambo guys have that energy too. And it's all for the Spanish cooch. Let's keep it funky. They pander too much. No, we stand on business on this side.
We was in the same fight. But now when I see things, I remember the last election talking to Latino folk, they, oh, no, he gonna give us money, he gonna, and I used to be like, God damn, like, that's the motherfucker want to get y'all out of here. And the only reason I'm asking, because I need to.
Definitely his money low, family. My dog cooking right now.
Know who I'm defending. Like, I don't want to be defending no motherfucker who don't even fuck with me, for real. So I'm asking.
Well, let me, Plies asked a phenomenal question, y'all. Who do I defend? Who do I speak about? Who do I talk about when I have these conversations? And like I said, y'all, I'm a firm believer in not just bringing stuff to you, but showing you what you see. And these are the runoff numbers. I want y'all to be mindful. The brother that was running against Crockett ran for only 6 months. He didn't do a lot of field interviews. What he did was pander to the community that he comes from. Remember, these are the real deal numbers of the voting demographic. Don't tell me anything else. I watch what you do when you are not around me. White, Latino, and Asians overwhelmingly voted in the way they felt. Now, the question is, most of our sisters and fellas around here that have this question about what you think and what you should feel, a lot of people still did vote Jasmine Crockett. But you got to understand, she got this number without a black agenda. And the one thing that all of our black politicians got to hear now, the whole narrative of no tangible, no vote is cemented and etched in stone. If you do not talk about it, discuss it, mention it, you pandering to the other side, you will lose. You will not have a political future. You will not have political outcomes, and they will never support you. Jasmine Crockett was the biggest, not the biggest to me. It should be an eye-opening thing. We saw it with Kamala Harris, but it is bleeding over, and it will happen again on the presidential side. Foundation of this country has spoken. What they have said with their chests, we want tangibles. We want the money you gave everybody else. We want the programs. We want the lineage-based initiatives, or the voting strategy will continue to go the way it is going. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, these results right here show just how much of a deal the other people roll. So you don't have to ask how nobody feels behind you. You don't have to ask what nobody thinks when you're not around. I always tell people this, man. This is the reason why a lot of people try to mimic the culture have a difficulty doing that, because you don't speak on the tough issues. And this is a tough issue fellow hip-hop artists that are the culture of their culture need to talk about. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you for tapping in, man. Thank you. Share it live, baby. Share it live. But like you said, man, most people don't tap into these conversations. They avoid them. It's uncomfortable. It is almost disheartening to talk about it, because you know why? You got to be honest. And being honest requires you to have a bit of vulnerability. And when you must be vulnerable, this is what must happen. A, you got to address and put everything on the damn table, on the conflict, on the pavement, whatever you want to call it. I got to be willing to lay it down right here. So what we have to say is that, hey, Jasmine Crockett definitely had an agenda for other ethnicities. And the people that she had no agenda for supported her the most. And the people she did have an agenda for didn't believe her. What does that tell you? That tells you that it's race. And as we went into the brother in this podcast, the first thing we went into is, hey, the race problem in America has not changed. A lot of people try to ignore it. A lot of people try to mention like it doesn't exist. But I'm not going to tell you what I'm saying from my mouth. I want you to hear it publicly. And they have a firm right to say this, which some Latino voters believe and truly believe about. Because the one thing we got to understand, y'all, is these platforms are for everybody. Pay attention.
What do you mean? Jasmine not going to Congress for Texas? Oh, Crockett, a girl can only dream. Listen, Jasmine, what was that one quote that you said? Let me think. Oh, yeah, we done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to go find a plantation. Yeah, you remember that? I remember that. How could I forget? See, 6.5 million Hispanic voters in Texas, which is like the majority of the electoral vote here in the state. And you mean to tell me that you think that we're still picking cotton? Hell no, girl. Hell no. That's why you...
Well, the one thing you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand the energy she has when she's speaking about this. And she is right about the derogatory comment from Jasmine Crockett. I can't excuse that. But the one thing I noticed immediately is that the energy and the pandering and the sister code girl magic doesn't work with the Latina crowd.
Lost. You're fucking racist. I'm going to tell you something real quick.
She dropped the R word. Now, the one thing I will say that is for me, I know there's a lot of the other side don't have the smoke for white folks, but that's just me. But we're going to let it rock, man. We're going to let it play.
You would have pitched that in 2002, 2001. You probably could have gotten like a good drift. However, that was people in the past. Those kids that I grew up with that were chasing a field every summer, every spring with their parents, moving school to school because they had to go pick fruit with their parents, are now grown up. And guess what? Do you think that they're going to go back to picking fields when they have a citizenship? No. As a matter of fact, they're not even looking to vote for blue people with blue policies that put their parents in fields. Fuck no. Some of them are real estate investors, business owners. They're passing down generational wealth. And you think that they're picking cotton. You out of your goddamn mind. I'm going to remind you real quick. The majority of the Latino voters for Trump here in Texas live in the southern border. You know what happened in the southern border? No. Why? Because neither you nor Kamala have the balls to go down there. I'm going to tell you what happened. Along the Texas border, Poverty levels are sky high as it is. When you import a bunch of riffraff from third world countries and they end up in those southern border towns, they strain the resources for those people. Those people can't even survive. And then you're bringing in all this fucking riffraff with.
The one thing I'm noticing quick, y'all, and I don't know if you read body language, there is a disdain for what Jasmine Crockett said and how she responded to that. And it doesn't seem like the whole code and words and lingo that was used by Jasmine Crockett did come off as tone deaf. And this Latino voter right here who is speaking for her community has definitely expressed that. But like I said earlier, I noticed the smoke is real hard for Jasmine and not the other way around. But we are fair. We're going to let it get it off and we're going to listen.
The CBP1 app Ticketmaster to the United States and you leave them there. That's why our governor had to ship all those fucking people out. And then y'all complain, oh, you were shipping on. Yeah, because you guys brought them here. You blue people brought them here to Texas and the southern towns were suffering. Not only that, but there was violence across the border in Tamaulipas, in Reynosa, all those cartels fighting to bring all those people over here. Why? Because they were.
Fendi fact, brother, you are not lying. She did confirm another lie with a half truths. I agree.
Profiting billions of dollars. And your ass still thinks that we're picking cotton? Take that. No Congress for Jasmine. As a matter of fact, why don't you go run for Missouri?
I just noticed the biggest thing that should be learned here, y'all, and shared alive, y'all, shared alive, is that, A, politically, you have to move different. Moving forward, we are no longer in the Obama era where we're going to be nice to each other. We're going to be politically correct to each other. Everybody has an agenda, and we're going to have a certain way we talk to you. No, sir. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a megaphone. Everybody has something to say. Whether you like it, you hate it, you love it, what you do is when you have to acknowledge now is that politics are beer into the soul. Because if you didn't know, politics are the subject and the conversation of who gets what in this country. All political discussions, discourse, conversations are about is how are we going to split up the pie, the resources, the legislations, and the law. So for those who do not understand why the FBA movement is such a massive force on the political landscape, you have to understand the why. Why is this important, Ed Terrell, King Crowder? Why is this important? Why are you breaking down this video? Why are you sharing this content? Why are you educating us today? I am educating us because I have never been more prouder than FBA. The tone, the precedence, the energy, the feelings are not just online. People are saying and showing with their feet, if you do not have a tangible action, if you do not have a voter information, if you are not doing anything to make sure that you put FBAs first, that we will not do the go along and get along game. What does this mean moving forward, King Crowder? A, you got to come drop a bag. Yes, I said it. You have to come with the resources. We don't care about what the energy is. We don't care about the initiatives. All we care about is our foundational Black Americans getting the respect that we require. We're not asking. We're not seeking. We're not having an expectation. And the reason why we cannot have those expectations and talk about it, y'all, is because literally we will have people in this country who will disrespect us in our face and in real time. I'm going to keep it even more cordial, soldier. Most foreigners come here and look you in the eye most of the time. They know. I agree, family. That is a huge indicator who is here and not from the soil. And the reason why we got to hold the front, hold the line, is because you are seeing cracks in the armor. Pay attention.
The only sin that we committed is that we came to America. We said we are looking for a greener pastures. Our greener pastures are turned to black right in front of us. President Trump, give us time. We will leave. We will all leave America. We will.
You know the one thing about it now? When everybody had that energy, that smoke and saying that Black Americans didn't have the power to make things happen, that Black Americans tend to be toxic in this country, that Black Americans do not have the wherewithal, that Black Americans need to focus more on unity, that Black Americans are the disrespectful ones. The chickens have come home to roost. And what do I mean by that, King Crowder? I mean, you got to hold your own nuts. The political force, the energy, the focus point, everything that we're talking about is on what we have the initiatives on. And ma'am, even though it's a tragedy and what's happening to your family, we have a long memory to remember how greasy the Akata, the Jaria, the Abib, the Yankee talk was. I remember all that. And now that we have heard that, we have evangelized, we have vocalized, we have made and put everyone on code. Ain't nobody coming no more. Let's go ahead and keep listening.
Leave. Because how many years have you spent? Only 1 year. And everybody is living in fear like this. How many years more? 3 years. The father, the children, they are going into people's house to.
You are absolutely right, brother. I thought y'all was Nigerian. Now she mad. The chickens have come home to roost. Malcolm X, the God, never lied to his family. Never.
Big people. How long are we going to live like this?
He had a full-on crash out in this video. Honestly, I've re-recorded this a whole bunch of times. I'm trying to figure out how to say this politically correctly, but to be honest with you guys, this is what I really think. I feel like people who have these types of strong feelings about deportation is really just because they come from a place that they don't want to be. Like, I feel like people talk a lot of shit about Americans, especially Black Americans. They talk a lot of shit about us. They talk about who we are, who we aren't, making it seem like, oh, we should wish we was from here. We wish we had this or that or the.
The reason why they talk, y'all, is you have to understand culturally we have built something different. And I want y'all to turn the volume up right quick when I talk about this, man. You have to understand segregation and Jim Crow made us more unified, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the times when we speak about the harsh acts that we had to experience in our ethnogenesis in the Americas, what we never talk about is the cause and effect that happened. We were brutalized. We were sold. We were harmed. We were discarded. We had a lot of horrific things happen to our ancestors. But while that was happening, we learned how to lean, how to blend in, how to lean, how to create, how to be completely isolated on our own. That's why when you look at other communities and you look at Black Americans, we don't sound, look, or try to assimilate. We lean into our Black culture. We believe in darkening up our communities. We believe in ingenuity. We believe in innovation. We believe in a different mentality. We are the pulse on what the culture and America's ethos system relies on. So what it means is that when other ethnicities come here and they say disrespectful things, they are trying to assimilate to where it's safe. But in foundational Black American culture, we don't assimilate. We are the resistance, the culture, the people that stand on what we feel and what we say. You have to understand in some cultures, y'all, it's completely okay to lie and not do what you say. But among us, we are really big on your word. We are really big on your action. We are really big on your time, your reference, and we are really big on holding the line. So when you are seeing these videos of panic, like she said in a lot of people's eyes, when these raids happened, it's the realization that, damn, what I did not work. And remember, y'all, the reason why people like to come here, the land of milk and honey, to the Americas, is because we made it safe. We made it sure the laws would be the same. We made it so that you would have to treat us fairly and equitably. We made it because we made harshness and effects coming to the disrespect of our communities. The reason why a lot of these immigrants can come here and have a safe passage is because of what my grandfather, your grandparents, and others did. So when these conversations come about all the time about we come here to work, you got to understand how you have the ability to come here to work. Because the foundation, the groundwork, the roads, the removing everything has already been established. It is easier to build off something that has a foundation than it is to create and spark one on your own. And a lot of these people come here because of that reason. Because remember, if you do not have your passport, I highly recommend you get it. And I highly recommend you go to a third world country. If you do not have your passport right now, I want you to go to VISE. It is a great independent news search about countries. Look up Haiti. Look up Nigeria. Look up these other places where the resources and the electricity is strained. And you must educate yourself by knowing when these immigrants are having these conversations that are disrespectful, that you, A, know how to combat it, that you, B, check that shit, and that you, C, you move on scholarship and knowledge. And the reason why I want to bring this so heavy to it, man, fix your homeland, man. We don't got no kings. Facts. YT, man, shipping them on the Conrad girl Bob, man. Facts, man. Look, man. You are working hard to flip your hair around the north border. We all got the receipts of your welfare. I'm gonna stay in my ground. No passport needed. You right, fam. You right. I'm just saying that for the people that can get it on the live and understand it. And as we continue to break down the live, I want all of the foundational family to understand this, man. We are the tone. We are the energy. We are what going for what happened previously. You know what else we're not going for, y'all? Something good touched my heart this week. I don't know if y'all remember Uncle Walt off Destination Smokehouse, man. He went on his own, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to watch the video and then I'm going to break down why I love this action. Pay attention.
Destination Smokehouse. I'm with tenderism now. Here I
am. What this is a symbolic form to me, ladies and gentlemen, is that when this brother went on his own and got his own thing popping, the one thing that we are not doing anymore, ladies and gentlemen, is going by people that disrespect us. Walter Johnson is a great story on that. He went on his own, he made his own money, and he banked on himself. The one thing that we got to understand, y'all, is now we are done being the goddamn mascots. Ain't nobody getting champion. Ain't nobody getting love. Ain't nobody getting respect unless the feeling is mutual. Shout out to my dog, where McCall at? Man, shout out to you, Mike, man. I know you heard the story of Mr. Tenderism this week. Mike, how do you feel? What do you think? And what are your thoughts as soon as you heard it, family?
Man, first of all, we got to stop letting our elderly class get taken advantage of. So it was to my understanding that Mr. Tenderism once was this gentleman's mentor and guide to making the barbecue the way that they made it at the restaurant. But we have to have, this goes to show no matter what age we are, how old we are, and how we do things, we have to have a team. Everybody in the team has to have a role, because if Mr. Tenderism had the right people around him, he would have never been able to be taken advantage of. His ideas would have never been able to been copyrighted, and he would have never been able to have to go through the things that he went through. But we also, when somebody has a dream, let's support it. Because how long has this man had a barbecue dream? How long has this man had the dream to do entrepreneurship and to be a business owner? We have to put the right resources. It starts as a young child. And the one thing I am so thankful that my parents did is they allowed me to follow every dream I ever had. I wanted to play the trombone, they got me lessons. I wanted to play the piano, they got me lessons. I wanted to travel and see different things. They made it their damnness to show me the world in a different lens. So we got to teach entrepreneurship, not just school, not just following the rules, not just following directions, but thinking outside the box must be taught in our communities. Because if we teach that and have support systems that we're supposed to have, what happened to this older gentleman would have never happened to him, and he would have had his own.
Mike coming in cooking. Mike, you know what the worst part about all of it, Mike? The culture vultures will steal your idea if you ain't ready. Mike, your response.
People, I'm upset, you know. I'm actually vexed. Right about now, a lot of people saying that we slice our meat before we lift it. Does any of that look sliced to you? Any of it look sliced, pre-sliced? Okay, here's the test. You ready? UK tenderism. Yeah, the home of UK tenderism. Joey Smokehouse. Be here or be nowhere.
Mike, like you said, not having your ducks in order, your trademarks. Now you got the vultures out from the UK, Mike. You know I hate these MFs. Seeing that video in real time, hearing that conversation in real time, seeing how they bite the swag, steal the swag, and remix the energy, like Mike said, is having your affairs in order, making sure we know firsthand that you gotta buy and invest, man. Because if you don't, somebody gonna come through and steal your swag. Mike, as you saw that video, Mr. Tenderism UK, stealing the swag, family. What did you think, brother?
Bro, I can't agree with barbecue and UK because barbecue is straight Texas, straight American, straight South, right? So y'all don't even have the ability to create that, or you stole it. Everything you stole. Hey, they say flattery is the best form of imitation, right? Imitation is the best form of flattery. But come on, UK Mr. Tenderism, barbecue ain't even your thing. And I went to London, bro, and I've been to England, and the food is trash, 100%.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
see, I can see why they colonized us. I can see why they colonized every other place. They needed the spices and they needed the seasonings and they needed better meals and recipes. So that's why they took over the world. But truthfully speaking, bro, originality is hard to find nowadays. Authenticity and genuineness is very hard to find. So we have to deal with people once like we always said, Terrell, once we do it, it's cool. So UK, other ethnicities, they gotta jump on the bandwagon. Just be yourself. I don't know what a UK or if you're gonna do barbecue, put the UK flair on it, right? Like do whatever it is that y'all do that.
No, I agree with you, Mike. I thought the first thing you said is that this is what happened when you can't control or patent your ideas, and B, the culture vultures. We gotta stop thinking culture vultures just a white thing. That's a UK thing. That's an African thing. That's a Russian. That's an Asian thing. They all stealing the swag and trying to copy it, Mike. We gotta learn to call it out when we see it, because if not, somebody will take your idea, Mike. And as we going on, Mike, as we going into, thank you for tapping in too, y'all. I got a good topic for you, Mike. If you did not know, Mike, Rory and Maul did a collab with the what's his damn name? Matt Hoffa podcast, Mike. And the subject came up, Mike. Does Drake have a classic album? Let's pay attention.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm still stuck on you don't think Drake has a classic album. But that's crazy to me.
I don't know.
The rest of the room feel like that too?
Oh, what's the
Yes.
classic?
Nothing was the same as a classic album.
What's the classic? Okay, but see, y'all not saying what's yours.
Nothing was the same.
Take Care, Nothing Was the Same.
I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I think he's super talented. But
Snap Toes,
What's your favorite Drake album? Okay.
some hot songs, but I don't
Yes, I agree.
album, hell no. Yeah.
Okay.
Facts, hot songs but no hot albums.
I think he's a good actor.
Mike, you are my music mogul. I need you to set the groundwork first. Mike, what defines a classic album?
Classic album has three things. One, timelessness. Two, no skip ability. Three, popular demand and fame, right? So let's break it down. No skipability. I have listened to albums and artistry that I listened to from one song all the way from song 1 to song 12, or how many ever songs it is on the album, right? Without skipping. Like I am so immersed into the artistry that I don't want to miss anything, right? That's a great album. Two, a great album, you need time, right? It could be a great album in the moment, but is it a great album 10 years from now? Is it a great album? You know what I'm saying? Will it last? So that second element and popularity and fame, right? You gotta understand there's one thing to be popular and then there's one thing to have fame off the album. Popularity is a short and quick burst. It's like running track, right? It's like a sprint. Popularity is a sprint. Fame is cross country track. So those three things to me make a great album. And I will say Drake has great songs. Quotability, for sure. Like people use it on TikTok. TikToks, they use snippets, but I don't think Drake has a great album. I don't think an album he has had that I listened to it all the way through and been like, damn. And nobody has ever said in the history of Drake, play that Drake album. Now they may have said play that Drake song, but have you heard a nigga be like, hey, throw that Drake album on? And if you have, it's 3 or 4 songs on the album, then we go into the next Drake album for 3 or 4 more, not cover to cover.
I agree with you. I think the biggest thing that hurts Drake's legacy is he does not have a timeless project. The big 3 that they all like to quote, Doc got 3 or 4: To Pimp a Butterfly, Mike, Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, GNX is slowly becoming a classic. He has classics, multiple. J. Cole, I would put Forest Hill Drive, I think is a classic, Mike, in the through. I think it was the second one he did was a class. Born Center, Mike. But he got another one I really like too, Mike. It was Born Center, Forest Hill Drive. What's the third one?
I forget, but I know exactly.
Where he had the song, like, the neighbors think I'm selling dope. That album was fire. So in Drake's discography, Mike, I heard somebody say this, Mike, and I want your feedback. Drake is the most accomplished hip hop artist of all time, but he's not the greatest.
I could agree with that. Off of the awards that he's won, the acclaim that he has mastered, I can agree with that statement. He has mastered greatness, but he has not mastered being great. You know what I'm saying? He has accomplished many things very quickly. And once somebody does that, they kind of peak out. And that's what we're witnessing today. He peaked out. You know what I'm saying?
And I also think the one thing nobody talks about too, Mike, he is older, man. I heard a guy say that, Mike. You've been in the game 10 plus years. You cannot be number one after 10 years. You cannot continue to lead the generation. It is officially young boys. You know what I'm saying, Mike? He is the new Flair. You are officially Unk now. Now, with you being Unk, do you have that ability to make Unk sounding records? I guess that's
Facts.
man hearing that.
Facts.
Go ahead, fam.
Now, bro, you have a very good, eloquent statement, because look at all the rappers that we idolize, right? Even though we like them, we like their old body of work. You cannot be number one forever, because one, the listener's ear changes every, I'll say, 2 to 5 years, right? You may have a chokehold. Look at T-Pain. T-Pain had a chokehold 2 to 5 years, right?
He did.
Lil Wayne's chokehold has been a long ride, but even Lil Wayne is not number one anymore. You have to, if you're gonna remain number one, the developness of your artistry and your character that you're presenting has to grow. And even still, you're not gonna be number one because the youth control the masses, right? Whatever the young crowd likes is what is gonna be number one on the Billboard. It's just that way.
I 100% agree with you, Mike,
It's
man. And
impossible.
as we go into our next topic, y'all share the live, man. Mike, Killer Mike had an interview that shook the head waves this week, y'all. Pay attention, y'all, before we give our commentary.
The country's at war right now. You're one of the most like sentient thinkers that we respect. What's your thoughts on this?
I think poor people should stop going to war. I think simply as that. We should refuse to. We will never have the weapons it takes to defeat these empires, but we don't have to send poor boys to die in war. That's simple.
And that's who makes up the military. Let's be honest
poor
about it.
Working class kids make up the military. And I honestly think rich people's kids should. We should take the leader of every country that wants to go to war and put their kids in a pit to fight.
Oh my God. You know what? Like it is that. I never thought about that part of it. Yeah. That's like my cousins.
Yeah,
my
service.
Cousins.
The memories I have is my cousin having to go to Beirut. It's my cousin having to go to Lebanon. He was a Marine. Other memories I have is a picture of the Ayatollah Khomeini, 79, 80 as a kid, imposing fear on us. The United States is an empire, and the only way we're going to change that is if the working class refuses to continue to spread it.
Do you think that anything like there's people in Iran that are celebrating? Yes. You know, I'm sure they're scared. I go to pick up my daughter from daycare. the woman that takes care of my daughter.
Yeah.
She expresses that they're grateful.
Yeah.
But you know, it's an interesting thing to like kind of observe what's happening, you know, from everyone's perspectives. What do you think about the people in Iran right now that are maybe celebrating?
My grandmother would say, we all for ourselves and God is for us all. I just pray that God's favor is the favor that falls upon the Iranian people. And that's whether you are devout and wear hijab, or you want to get back to what it was pre-79. I think that there's a world in which humans are not persecuting one another based on religion and using government to do it. And I hope we get to that government.
Killer Mike was with a bomb.
Man,
we got to talk about the war state. Mike, give your facts on it, fam.
I think we need to understand what's going on. Why did we bomb Iran? Why did we get in conflict with Iran? It was, to my understanding, that Israel had conflict with Iran. And if you think about it, we talked about it last week, right? 2 to 3 weeks ago, Iran burned the Statue of Baal and some other symbolic religious mechanisms that was directly aimed at the Jewish community, right? Israel, we are slaves to Israel. We give them $18 billion a year so they could have free healthcare, free schooling, free homes, and live a life on our dime. I don't understand, to the life of me, why the United States jumped into a conflict with somebody that wasn't even bothering us, except for the fact that the Israelis run us and told us, hey, if you don't do this, we might do this, right? So my thing is this: Killer Mike was, I say all that to say Killer Mike was right. These people that are making decisions for the country's children are not affected uh, more than the decisions that are being made that are affecting the lower working class. We need somebody that is gonna, they would never make a decision that would hurt their child as much as it would hurt our children, right? So, like he said, stop saying yes, stop saying I'll do it. But we have to understand that money is a mechanism and a tool, and the only way that we can fight back is to refuse, right? It may be hurting us in the moment where, hey, some people might not get paid, but that's where each one helps each other, right? However, if everybody that was poor was like, no, I'm not going to fight this war for you, it doesn't make sense, it's stupid, send your child. I bet you we would not go to war, right? It'd be nobody to fight it. It'd be nobody to shoot the gun. It'd be nobody to throw the first blow in the fight. However, these people, like I said, are making decisions for children that aren't their own, and their children aren't receiving blowback from the decisions that they're being made. We have to change that stereotype due to the fact that it will always be us on the bottom and never them.
What's good, brother? What's good? Tap in with you, man. I agree, Mike, with everything we said. Let me give my dog Mike a round of applause. That was beautifully said, Mike. I also think, Mike, we're going back to that old action, how we did 50, 70 years ago of war will help you get out of a recession and help the economy, Mike. That's the number one reason why we're trying to do that, because, Mike, racism, classism is expensive. And instead of opening it up, Mike, doing rights by its citizens, invested in its citizens, and like you said, figuring out ways to make and fix our problems we have, we choose to join battles, like you said, Mike, and avoid the issues. But what's going to happen, Mike, is that we are trying to figure out a way to fix what we have a problem with, Mike. We know houses ain't selling, Mike. We know everything costs too much. War is an old-fashioned thing. War or innovation is a quick way to turn around the economy. The problem that we have is, Mike, people don't want to go to war.
Facts. Well, let me say this too, and you have to understand, like, really what's going on, right? What's going on, as the United States as we know it is trying to grasp and destroy a faction that we once were a part of. We have to, because the faction depended on us so much. But if you think about it, we've lost so much ground in the world. We don't export anything anymore. We're more consumer based. We don't produce things that other countries want anymore. We send our good jobs out to other countries for cheaper labor. We pimp ourselves out to the point that the faction that we have built, that everything needs to depend on the United States, is starting to move away from that. So if you look at the things that Donald Trump is doing, he's cutting ties with unification of assembly of different countries. He's being in an erratic way to make the United States more attractive so that we don't know what we have going on. Think about it. We are very much a country that you can predict what we're doing. If we have unpredictability and we destroy these factions that once held on to us, the system will crumble, even though we're going to take the biggest hit. But if the system systematically crumbles around us and they don't need us in that way, and we figure out a way to be needed again, we will survive. And that's what Donald Trump is doing.
Shout out to Mike with the scholarship. You know, the one thing I want to bring to the table too, Mike, speaking on what Mike is saying. Mike, in our lifetime, Mike, me and Mike went to college, did everything the right way, y'all, quote unquote, right? What investment has been made in our citizens, Mike? Think about that. Somebody asked me that, Mike. We've almost been on this earth, Mike, almost 40 years, 30 plus years, y'all. What true investment, Mike, think about this, have been made in the citizens? We cut education. We make venture capitalists, Mike, buy home. When venture capitalists, Mike, ultimate goal is to make profit. Every people that we incentivize here has not been to help its citizens. That's the problem, Mike. Everything has been make the money, scale the business. What we don't understand, Mike, scaling means maximize profit. Make the business means make as much money as you can. But there has been zero. I mean, Mike can tell me otherwise. Has there been investment in anybody I know, investment in any of the citizens? All I see is investment in immigrants, other countries, and war. There has been no investment in the foundation or the groundwork of the people inside this country to help them get a better life. There has been no marriage program. There has been no first-time buyer program like it was in World War II, Mike. That's the problem. That's the problem. Which is like you said, Mike, selling ourselves.
We also have to realize this though, like we're not a country. We are found and understood that the United States of America is a corporation. That's what I mean. We can go down a rabbit hole. That's what the birth certificate, death certificates. These are all contractual agreements of a business, not a country. You know what I'm saying? So when we understand that, we'll understand a lot more of the things that are going on and the decisions that are being made.
No, I agree with you 1,000%, Mike. Shout out to my dog Mike with that beautiful response. Mike changing gears again, Mike. Mike, you know I hate this city, but Mike is my hip hop guru. Mike, New York City is talking and running their mouth again. Pay attention.
Texas, Louisiana, Memphis. I think that's where the real hip hop heads are in the South. Mississippi, all those other states.
Yes,
but the most successful state, Georgia, y'all didn't love hip hop. Y'all looked at rap as an opportunity to get to a bag. It just became the next hustle, but it was a very lucrative hustle. And it shows in y'all opinions. Like we talked about the Lil Yachty thing. That's just like Lil Yachty has never done the knowledge on music as far as hip hop goes. He doesn't have any kind of grasp on the fights niggas had to fight to get where they had to go. The battles, the rivalries. I'm willing to argue that Yachty's barely into what was happening in Atlanta. Old Atlanta. Under family era Atlanta. T.I. era young Atlanta when him and Luda was getting into it, shit like that, to really get a proper grasp of what battles these niggas had to fight to get to where they had to go. They just looked at it as, I can make these words rhyme and I could get a little advance check and I'm going to get my family out the hood. And I respect that aspect of it because it's a very big check, right? And you can change, it's a life-changing opportunity. But the disconnect between New York and Atlanta specifically has always been the love of hip hop.
Mike, another New York ninja saying they know what's best, Mike. I want to hear your take on it.
I just think if we're going to have these conversations and be on these platforms, at least let New York have something relevant. Like if we're going to talk about, okay, the country niggas ain't playing homage to what hip hop is all about, you got to understand hip hop is a living, breathing art form. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. It's going to do what it does. It's living and breathing. It's changing every day. But be relevant in hip hop. If you're going to have a conversation about people not understanding or paying homage, have not just history, but have modern day and present relevance. That's all.
For me, Mike, can we stop acting like y'all don't need to put a seat at the table? New York City, in the past 30 years, outside of 50 Cent, there has been zero young present that has been organic. Remember, y'all copying the nigga that's copying the nigga that's copying another nigga. Y'all copying UK, who copying Chicago. Before you get on the love of hip hop, y'all have to get back to y'all roots in love, because right now there is no love because y'all don't talk about anything. Think about this, Mike. What has been the great New York diss record, journalism, or talking points in the past 20 years?
Can't think of
Name
one,
me
man.
something, Mike, that's been like not like us to talk about the current state and gentrification going on in New York City. Name me something that talks about the economic inequality that's going on in New York City. You have artists outside of y'all giving those conscience, those real sounds. Y'all don't have that. Y'all got the drilling, Vivio. That's what y'all focus on. That is the reason why you cannot go in there saying that statement when all of y'all music is trash. It has no energy, Mike.
Bro,
It has no sustainability. The only one that really peaked, Mike, was Pop Smoke. The rest of them, Mike, they're not memorable.
Bro, but I will say this: when you do allow non-black and when you allow a 6ix9ine to become the king of your city and to become the inspiration and the prototype of the music that you set the tone for, when you start doing that and start allowing people not of the culture to not only, it's okay to have a seat at the table, but to lead the forefront of this is what our artistry is going to be, you're gonna have problems.
Mike, can I say something?
You're gonna have
We
problems.
can't have a seat at the table
Identity
saying the
crisis.
N-word and we respect it, Mike.
Facts.
You that right there, and Mike, you hit the nail. Mike, I forgot all about that. I'm gonna keep it funky. Mike hit the nail on the head. Once you had 6ix9ine calling people N-words on radio in your city, saying he a blood with rainbow hair, nobody takes y'all seriously. Then he told on everybody, Mike, ain't nobody put hands on him. He's still walking through New York, Mike, untouched.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when y'all speak on these type of subject, Mike, and these type of subjects come up and y'all choose to give y'all opinion, it's like we don't care no more. So like I don't know what it is, Mike. Go ahead.
You can't care because a few years ago you let 6ix9ine be the king of the city.
And Mike, I'm gonna say it's happening in real time. Mike, have you been keeping up with the 50 Cent T.I. thing, Mike?
Oh yeah, man. Every day I can't wait to tune in and see what they're gonna do.
And Mike, can we say this? T.I. up by 100. That family angle really got at 50, Mike.
Bro, the only thing that 50 can do now is drop a documentary on the craziness that T.I. and Tiny be doing. That's it.
Hey, Mike. Mike, the only thing if you do what T.I. said was too real, though, Mike. What the white folks you criticizing 50? He said that, Mike. 50 ain't saying about it.
Yeah. Bro, the only thing that man can do is either fight that nigga in real life or do the verses, bro. The whole family just keeps swinging, bro. But bro, it's gonna turn into a Drake thing. You at some point you're gonna have to say something, defend yourself, do something, bro.
Well, the thing is, Mike, to me, when T.I. pointed out that you ain't got no family, man, that hurt him a lot, Mike. He got in the booth and rap, Mike. You heard that? 50 don't rap.
Yeah.
He made 2 songs about T.I. and both of them were trash. New York City been real quiet about that, Mike. He got the Power remix. I'm like, no, y'all. I thought 50 don't rap no more, Mike. He got in that booth, didn't he?
He had to. I mean, for the love of the artistry, right? You have to spar with somebody if you're a wordsmith, bro. And somebody calling you out and putting belt to ass, bro, it is my expectation if you call yourself any type of rapper, entertainer, or artist, nigga, you got to do what you got to do and put belt to ass back in the booth, bro. You have to.
No, I agree with everything you saying, Mike. It just it just hits different, man, to see it in real time. Like I said, 50 has been known as a supervillain, but bro, you got kind of exposed, fam. T.I. went the family route.
Yeah.
T.I. went on the record by saying, I'm going to keep dissing. The New York City guys kind of fold, but hey, down south got something to say, Mike. You can't say the music catalog. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it kind of popped this burble, Mike. And I feel bad for 50. I don't know if he could ever regain, because again, Mike, when that white angle got brought up, Mike, 50 ain't respond or say nothing back to it.
Yeah, you ain't swinging on the white folks, but you but it shows how tasteless, bro. You got money. People got to understand this. Money doesn't change people. It just amplifies who you really are. 50 Cent was a 50 Cent was this nigga beforehand, before the money, bro. And so, like, if you will make a whole documentary on somebody that you used to hang out with, bro, on when they on down bad, you'll do anything, bro. The dollar is the root of all evil, and we are seeing people subjugate their morals to not having morals to make money, bro.
Mike is on a Fendi fact right now, Mike. You know what else is true about morals, Mike? And this is something, Mike, you know, we always swing the back, Mike. Mike, remember the story about the Michigan University coach? Let it pay attention, y'all.
Yeah.
So no video, audio, Mike. Sharon Moore, the Michigan coach, Mike, got in court. Mike, the cops withheld evidence, and the girl lied.
So my thing, bro, my question that I always ask, when we in these type of situations, what is the retribution that this man is gonna get, that this woman lied and that these cops also lied and did misconduct? What is his get back? Are these people gonna have the same charges that this man once was trumped up on? Is he gonna get the same get back? If you are found guilty of tampering or doing something injustice for a gain, are you then gonna get the punishment that they were gonna once give that one person? That's what needs to happen. So many of our brothers have experienced this at the demise of a white woman, bro. So many.
I agree, Mike. I agree. I think it's a tragedy, Mike. I think the biggest lesson is, like you said, Mike, it has to be the laws have to change and catch up to where they are now, Mike. You know, I ain't gonna never push back on it. But the old story remains, Mike, man, when you at work, you are at that woman's mercy. We know she lied, Mike. But the thing that got me the most, Mike, can you seek retribution for law enforcement for going along with it, Mike? The cops withheld
Facts.
evidence? What the hell?
Right,
How
bro.
is that not national news, Mike?
Hey, I hate to say this, and you know I do not fuck with this nigga at all, but somebody go ahead and call Benjamin Crump, nigga. Call him. Where that nigga at? He ain't hopping out of this one, bro.
Hey, no, I agree, man. I agree, Mike. I definitely think it's to that point. But like I said, Mike, I was looking around the national news, Mike, and saying, ain't nobody talking about this, Mike. It's real different right now, man. You know what I'm saying? How is this not national news? How ain't nobody talking about it?
Bro, and think about it. The embarrassment, the scars, his reputation is already fucked. So no matter, and we've talked about this, right? No matter the outcome, like Jonathan Majors, the nigga didn't do it, all that. Come to find out that he didn't do it, come to find out the Michigan coach was set up and all these things. But the earth is already scorched, bro. You can't, like, it's not gonna and this is a situation where the reputation is already tarnished, and nothing is gonna come from that. You
I
can't
agree,
repair
man.
this man. He lost the amount that he could have gained without this situation is unequivocal. We can't understand how much he lost, but it's gonna be a forever loss, right? This bitch might get a slap on the wrist. She might get, oh, we don't understand the full situation, but this man's livelihood, reputation, and the way that he makes money is forever impacted. And I think that deserves millions of dollars, bro, because the sky was the limit before of what you could earn, but now that you have a tarnished reputation, somebody has to take a chance. And nobody looks into the facts that, hey, this nigga really didn't do it. It's just what they said you did. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, man. I know exactly what you're saying. Well, it's getting to that point in all parts of life, Mike. I saw something this week, Mike, that kind of should have made national news again, Mike, and didn't. Mike, now that the college athletes are making money, President Trump said this.
The amount of money being spent and lost by otherwise very successful schools is astounding just in a short period of time. It's only going to get worse. So we have to save college sports and save, I believe, colleges. Ultimately, we have to go through, I guess we have to go through, I'd do an executive order. I'd love to do that. I'll probably do it anyway. We'll do an executive order. We'll see how it works because it would be a really nice, I have a really nice, simple idea. They are canceling golf. They're canceling wrestling. They're canceling fencing. They're canceling even basketball. I thought that would be maybe immune, but it's in trouble. And it's all going to football. But ultimately, football is going to be the worst laggard of all. It's not going to be affordable. And it's going to take down practically every college. In my opinion, it's going to take down virtually every college.
Mike, what he's talking about, if you did not know, y'all, it wasn't a problem when the white coaches getting paid. But now the football expenses needs to have a salary cap on it. Now the young black athletes are getting paid. Mike, what's your thoughts on it?
Wow. Man, forever and a day we were exploited by these colleges. Look what happened to Reggie Bush, right? And it's a shame. How much money did USC make off of Reggie Bush? How
Come
much
on,
money,
man.
and not even just football. How much money did North Carolina make off of Michael Jordan? And after that, Michael Jordan is not even playing, right? How much money did the U make off of goddamn what's his name?
I know
Came
what you're
from the
saying. Yeah, all the people, right?
you get what I'm saying? Like these colleges, these athletes, before the time that the NIL existed, these colleges were, especially if you're a good football team and you have good ball players, making millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. You see the sports he named that said they were going to be affected and decimated. They were all sports where white people have the advantage. But football is strategically black because we run faster. Our bodies are more adapted to build muscle faster and all these things. Like you said, it's cool when the white coach and the white fan base and the white schools is getting the money. But now that the niggas is getting the money, hey, we need to put a stop to this. These niggas are making too much money. Come on, man. We should have been paying these people.
Man,
Like,
I
cause
agree
it's
with
not
it.
guaranteed. It's college ball. It's college
And
ball.
my
It's not
thing is this
guaranteed.
too,
I could
Mike.
blow out my knee.
My thing is this too, Mike.
You
Everything you
feel
saying
me?
is a fact. It's that why is it such a problem now? The coaches been getting paid. Oh, because the coaches aren't getting the
Right.
most money now. I got it now, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. You
So
may
it's
be a
pay for
coach
play
making your
now.
salary. Yeah, your
Oh,
salary 250,000, right? You got a young 18, 19-year-old, nice as fuck, got endorsement deals, and he making 2 million. And what can you tell this young cat that's making $2 million and you the coach only on a $250,000 salary? Now you don't even make enough money to tell this man to do anything. He can tell you, fuck you, bro. You broke.
I agree. I
That's the
agree.
problem.
And I think it all is a problem, Mike. And I believe, like you said, the sports angle is what it is, man. The cat's out the bag. And executive orders ain't gonna change how people feel. You should have been getting some on if you felt so strongly about it, Mike. You know, the one thing that came to my mind the quickest, Mike, Trump hurts Obama's legacy every single day. Mike, you see how quick
Because
he
that
jump
man
on
do what he
Instagram?
want.
Mike,
He do what he want.
we got Obama speaking at Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral like he couldn't do nothing. But you got Trump every day saying, I'm about to sign an order right now to fix it. I'm about to fix it right now for these white folks. I'm about to do whatever it takes to keep my people happy. Every time, Mike, I had this conversation with somebody this week. Barack Obama made Trump the way he is. What do you mean? Obama didn't do enough. Trump does too much. If you want to know why Trump is so emboldened, Mike, it is because we were tired, Mike. Our generation was tired of saying and hearing, Mike, well, I got to have to play nice. I got to play by the book. I got to play by the rules. We got to have all the votes. You remember all that bull job, Mike? All of it.
My thing is
All of it.
this. What's the
Go ahead.
worst that can happen? You get impeached. What's the
Mike,
worst that can happen? You get impeached. Look,
Mike,
nigga, they impeached President Clinton and he
come
got
on.
his dick sucked in the White Office and niggas still love him. Niggas still love him.
Mike,
Trump do
what
what he
let me,
want when he want to do it.
man, look, Mike, what let me know what Trump was a real ninja, Mike. You know what let me know he's a real nigga, Mike? Well, he got in office and he said, free the guys, Mike. He said, free The January 6th insurrectionists, Mike. We caught them on camera in 4K. Running in a federal building. And Trump said, free the guys, Mike. Mike, free them. And freedom. Mike, you mean to tell me you can't do what you want as a president? That was popular. That's what he did to hurt the legacy of Obama and them, Mike, the most. He showed you that if I'm the man, if I'm the big dog, I do what I want to do. I ain't got to seek no validation. I ain't got to get no loyalty. I ain't got to build no bridges. Mike, remember all that bull job? It's unpopular. You need the House. Trump said executive order.
Trump said,
executive
fuck the
order
House
mean I'm
and
happy.
the Congress, nigga. Fuck all that. I signed it into existence. That's what we doing. He didn't
That's
even
what
ask
we
permission,
doing.
nigga. Bro, he didn't even ask permission, bro. The Venezuelan taking of their president was an act of war, bro. And nobody said, hey, dog, we can't do that. Niggas was like, damn, all right, we riding. Nigga, Obama could have did a little bit more. Nigga, they got mad at the nigga for wearing a tan suit. This nigga Trump really taking liberties, but that's the difference, bro. I keep saying Obama was a black man raised by a white woman. We cannot expect him to understand 100% fully the black plight and also to be connected and want to do something about the black plight. A black man raised by a white woman can only see eyes through the white woman's lens. And that's the truth.
You have been on point with
your
that.
mother,
You've been saying that from the beginning.
bro, your mother is your first experience of the world. And her points and views are instilled on you until you know something different. But the first exposure that Obama got to the world and teachings was of a white woman. So, like, we can't just be like, he did nothing for the black folks, bro. He would have never, not one time, because it was the way he was raised and the way he was trained.
No, I agree with you, Mike. I just think when I see it now, Mike, I always tell people, you know, when I joke with my young guys, Mike, they call me crazy. Like, y'all don't understand how different the world is. We was under the Obama impression, Mike, you need to be political. You need to go along or get along. You need to play nice. Mike, you remember those conversations, Mike? Hampton is still the
Bro, you gotta compromise, bro. Trump is showing us in real time. Hey, I'm the president. I do what the fuck I want to do. If unpopular opinion, if you don't like it, oh well, tough.
He's showing in real time how America work, Mike.
Hey, and if you try to stop me, I'm gonna get the goons on you. You going to jail.
And Mike, I'm gonna say it in real time. This is how America works. It's not fairness. It's not equality. It's not we vote on the best thing. No matter what of these jobs you work at, Mike, tell me what fairness is in these corporations, Mike. Tell me the people that deserve to get promoted are in these corporations, Mike. Tell me the people that deserve to get taken care of, Mike. Tell me all that. That ain't how the world works. Trump is the reality of how America runs. It's the people that have the power doing what the hell they want to do. That's it. Bro. So, like I said, I love it personally, Mike. People go, oh man, I can't believe it, man. Why are we shocked by it, y'all? That's how I go here.
Bro, but you want to know what a lot of people don't understand? The question that is asked is, why haven't the Democrats done anything to stop them? Your Democratic Party hasn't done anything to stop them because they are complicit and aligned with the things that he is doing. If the Democratic Party wanted to save you, wanted to stop you, wanted to put a halt to this, it's things in the justice system and the legal system of the structure of the United States that could stop everything that Trump is doing. But your Democratic Party that you voted for, that is supposed to be the savior to blacks, is complicit and aligned with the things that the president is doing because he is allowed to do them. How you feel about that, Democrats?
Hey, I agree with you 1,000%, Mike. That's why I tell people right now, it's black first, because like I said, and the word Jasmine Crockett that lost this week, Mike, the sister lost, and she was on the immigrant wave, Mike, and they all voted against her, Mike. You ain't talking about no cutting the check. We ain't talking about all black politicians need to hear that, Mike. No matter who you pander to, your base is us. Period. Oh, well, he can't be like Trump. Mike, Trump pander his pace.
He planted his base, and that's how he got back in the White House for a second time.
Mike, people think it's a difference, man. the base is who the base is. You may not like it, but if I'm willing to do what I can for my base first and then build from there, that's how you get the love now. The playbook is out, the feelings are out, how people are moving is out now. All this, we gonna get along type of stuff is over with, man. I want to know what we getting. I don't give a damn about no immigration.
But our leaders that are in the black congressional caucus and in these rooms cannot be 100% black. They afraid to. They afraid to, bro, and they will not stand because they feel like they won't be able to swing the vote. They won't be able to get in the establishment of what they're trying to do due to the fact that they are scared to solely depend on the black vote. And so
Well,
they
Mike,
have to make moralistic decisions with different people and different ethnicities because they don't believe in our voting power that we will put them in there solely by themselves.
well, Mike, I tell all of them now. In our generation, Mike, we are not vote blue no matter who, Mike. We are not. So if you don't do what you're supposed to do and come up some tangible benefits, you ain't gonna win regardless.
Facts.
It's a double-edged sword. It might either you come up and figure out the tangible programs, the SBA. Mike, I wouldn't mind an SBA loan. Would you, Mike? I wouldn't mind something getting pumped with zero interest to figure it out. I wouldn't mind a FHA mortgage, all these mortgage programs. They was quite. Mike, am I lying?
No.
Give us some of that.
No.
Because if you don't, Mike, you ain't gonna win.
Bro, but we also gotta analyze these Democrats that we keep putting in the office, bro. What are they doing? Are they being audited? What are we thinking about when they like, bro? Historically, and I know that our notes are supposed to be our FBA politics, right? But historically, the black person has voted for the Democrat for far too long, and all they do is fearmonger, race bait, and lie to us every time. They never deliver. They have not delivered, bro. The 37 years that I've been alive, I have never seen the Democratic Party deliver on anything that they were going to do for the black community. Not one time.
Well, you
Not
gotta
one
think
time
too,
as
Mike.
long as I've been alive.
Well, you gotta think, Mike, since how we've been along, how long we've been alive, Mike, 34. When have we ever had a conversation like we have every week, Mike? Talking about you gonna give me what you owe. There's never been a conversation about that, Mike. We were taught, Mike, me and Mike, the same age, same school. We were taught, Mike, go to school, get a good job, vote blue, don't cause an issue. What they didn't tell us that jobs wouldn't be there. We're gonna get laid off. I can get fired. We can go through separation, divorce. We could change. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Real life gonna happen. But you telling us to move like y'all moved and y'all had way more benefits. Me and Mike are not seeing the benefits. Me and Mike working hard to make more money and figure it out because we are not getting what our family got, Mike. So that whole strategy has to change. And like you said, Mike, I agree with what you said about the audit of the officers, Mike, because they getting paid, they getting money. Where's the other tax benefit things going, Mike? That's why I keep asking, Mike, where's it going? Where's it going? Like I said, Mike, in our generation, go ahead.
Bro, we paying money for taxes, and taxes supposed to be to better the schools, better the roads, better the facilities, better the country, better everything. Nigga, I damn near lost my car to a pothole the other day, but I'm paying
Mike,
taxes, bro. My child is
everywhere.
getting stupider. Bro, children are getting dumber. The teachers are not equipped to deal with what we got going on. And the kids are statistically not as smart as we were when we were being upbrought. And we're paying these tax dollars, bro. I just don't understand, right? Everything needs to be audited. Cause why the roads fucked up? Why we got homelessness? Why in all these other countries, if America is supposed to be the greatest, all these other countries have free education, free healthcare, free this, free that. They have assistance that will get you a loan that you don't have to pay the government back. They have all these resources. America is not great. The only thing America is great at is being a fraud, bro. Like, we're the biggest fraud. Like, it's so many, even third world countries have better benefits than us in certain situations.
I agree with you, Mike. I think it's because, Mike, literally, Mike, I want you to think about it, Mike. Well, besides us, Mike, at our age group, having an intellectual discourse and conversation, talking about what we're going to be wanting and demanding, who else is doing it, Mike?
Nobody. And when you have a disposition of me and Terrell, people make us the angry black man.
And that's okay, Mike. I don't mind being, if angry means getting results, Mike, I'll be that. What I don't want to be, Mike, is the passive one. The one that don't get shit done, Mike. How many times we gotta sit through and see this film roll? You right, Mike. We are saying cut the check. If that's the angry black man, Mike, I'm with that. Is that crazy, Mike? When you say that disposition, people look at you like you crazy, like you ain't supposed to say what you want. I don't get people, Mike, when they, oh, y'all, man, you should be, man, listen, man. Ain't no friends out here. Cut it, pay what you owe, do what you supposed to do. That's how we move it. If you can't do it, Mike,
but
you ain't gonna win.
Bro, but like this is what I don't understand about our leaders. Like Gaddafi gave us $1 billion, and like if we had people responsible, right? Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan was the trustee of that agreement. Louis Farrakhan, you don't give a fuck about us either, due to the fact that the government had to say yes. Why we ain't push the government to say yes for the advancement of black folks? If another country's leader was investing in us, the government should have not ever had a choice but to accept that. And Louis Farrakhan, you dropped the ball on that one. Like, oh, I brought it to the president, they said no, and you left it there. But we gotta understand, bro. Not just Louis Farrakhan, and I ain't swinging on the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan,
Yeah.
but
I
I'm
know
just
you
swinging on.
giving your perspective. I
I'm
got you.
just I'm just swinging on everybody in general, bro. Y'all say we gotta vote, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But as soon as y'all get into these powers of position with political power, y'all niggas fold every time. Y'all drop the ball. Y'all have other ethnicities and other organizations concerns outweigh ours because they have a dollar. If you could be bought, you shouldn't be representing us. If you can think about immigrants and all this other stuff and be like, and can't have the mindset to be like, oh shit, yeah, that's cool. But what about this? Like, my people have been struggling for this. Like, come on, man. We already 3/5 as a person. Y'all think that ever changed? But like, we really need some doers, bro. I'm tired of people talking. I need to see some foot action. I need to see somebody that's willing to punch somebody in the mouth, like literally, to get what we need, bro. Like I just see, y- like it seems like the fiery people in Congress, like Cory Booker and all that, they be fiery, but nigga, like Cory, you fiery, but what are you doing? Like you get what I'm saying? Like, and it's always the mixed niggas. It's always the mixed niggas that want to lead the charge and lead the fight. And I have nothing against that, but like, are we sure that somebody that has a white counterpart parent has our best interest at heart? We have to understand the teachings and the methodology. This thing goes deep, bro. We have to understand that. Like, I'm not trying to be fucked up, but do we really think somebody whose mother, like, I'm not even talking about if you had a black dad. I'm talking about if your mother was not black, bro, because black moms are the foundation of the revolution, and black moms are the foundation of what black culture is. If your mother was not black, how can we trust you a little bit, bro? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're a mixed race breed and you have the black father, was he really in the life? Because we see that story all the time. But like, the charge must be led by a mixed race breed who had a black mother, bro, not the white
I
mother,
agree with
because
you,
they could
man.
never.
I agree.
And I'm not being racist. I'm just saying the understanding of the black plight is not there with the white mother.
I don't think you're wrong at all, Mike. I think you're speaking on experiences. Again, Mike, we're having these conversations. We're showing what needs to be talked about, Mike. And like I said, Mike, we have real things going on in this country, Mike, to keep going, to keep the conversation going, Mike. Mike, a flight was held up on the way to Nashville because of a bomb threat, Mike. How the hell is stuff like this going on in real time with no national media? Pay attention, y'all.
Everybody heads down. Stand up. Stand up.
What this is showing right here, Mike, is that we had an active person who was saying to be alleged with Iran and having those political unrest. We haven't seen videos like this online, Mike. We haven't seen how real it is getting in this country. Like you said, Mike, having these discourse or seeing what the state of America is, Mike. After you watch that video, Mike, and saw a plane potentially having a threat being attached to it, do people realize the state of the country and where we are today?
People do not realize the state of the country and where we at today due to the fact that we are 100% desensitized with death. We are 100% desensitized with threats, real threats to our lives. We're 100% desensitized to war, killing, hatred, things that like really fucking up the world right now due to the fact that everything is being shown on the camera, right? So if I feed it to you, feed it to you, feed it to you, feed it to you, eventually you're gonna see somebody get killed right in front of you, and you're not gonna give a fuck, bro. Shock factor, shock and awe is not there anymore due to the fact the camera is a great tool and it's the worst tool, and the internet is a even worse tool because now that we're seeing all this, that we all need therapy. We are all traumatized. We should not be seeing these things, and it is not normal. That's what we need to continue to tell ourselves. Death in front of our face is not normal. Threats in front of our face is not normal. We need to understand these situations, bro. Us living in America and us seeing people get brutalized, killed, and murdered every day on TV is not normal. We need therapy. We all have post traumatic stress from these situations, and we are all desensitized to people doing ill to other people. We are,
Man,
bro. It's crazy. Think about
I
it.
agree. I agree,
And
Mike.
people
I,
gotta
I, I think
understand these
seeing that in
men.
real time, Mike, and like I said, Mike, how is this not making national news about a potential plane having to make an emergency landing, Mike, in real time because of the threats we're making
Because,
to countries? Shh. Go ahead, Mike. Keep
bro,
cooking.
this is not being shown because they don't want a copycat situation to happen. They don't want other people to become right. Like you gotta understand that TV is crazy, right? So say I'm Irani and I'm not radical, but I see one of my brothers radicalized, right? This could cause like they're not showing it because this can cause other people to radicalize. This could cause mass hysteria. This could cause like if we just show it a little bit and not a lot of people understand what's going on and how real the situations are, like, bro, first of all, as America, we let too many people in the country that we don't know what the fuck they really true intentions, what they got going on, bro. Have you ever been to another country? Have you ever, well, Terrell, you're definitely well traveled. So I know everybody who has traveled has seen how hard it is to travel to a whole nother country.
What,
We
Mike?
let
Illegally at
everything.
that.
Facts, bro. We let a lot of shit go. We let a lot of people in here that shit and be in here. God forbid we ever get in conflict with Russia for real. How many Slavic people we have let in this nation from the northern borders, eastern borders, and west borders that we have not said anything to. God forbid we get in conflict with another nation that's not black or brown. You know what I'm saying? Like because then how many people have been here and they have allegiance to those nations, bro? We that's why you haven't really seen it. You don't want one, we're at war, right? But war is at a distance. When you start bringing war and showing that it's at home, you will create mass hysteria and people not ready for the real reality that something could happen to us for real. You have to keep America, oh, nothing could ever happen here. You have to keep that in the people's minds. Keep them off guard.
Man, I agree with that, Mike. Shout out to my dog, Mike. And Mike, we cooked up tonight. I think we did good, fam. I know we about to get ready to close. Mike, tell the people what you got going on this week. What else is happening? What's cracking with my dog? No, my dog been busy.
Man,
Talk to him.
I ain't doing nothing but preparing to come to the baby shower of our loved one, our baby. We coming to Texas. The gang gonna be together. That's the only thing I'm getting ready for, bro.
Man, that's
Work's been
awesome.
great. Breaking personal records at work, so life is good. Love and
Congratulations.
peace. Thanks, bro.
Congratulations, bro. Tell the people where they can find you at, Mike.
Hey man, check me out on Mikey McCall on Facebook and where McCall at. Hit me in the DMs, man. Just show me some love, send me some love. If you need any prayer, if you need any uplift, if you just need a friend, hit me up. I'm there for you.
Shout out to be Mike. Until next time, family. Peace.
Peace.
My dog Mike, man. Shout out to him, man. As we continue to cook up again for live on Sunday, y'all, man. There has been a rumor, y'all, that the world is different now. You know, King Crowder give you information. Bumble and dating apps is on the decline. For all my single fellas out there, I'm hearing dating apps are trash. Meeting people are trash. Going out is trash. Where do you go to meet anybody at? Man, I've been talking to people all across. You know, again, I listen, I tap in, and I try to hear the perspective of other guys to see what they have going on. And the immediate thing I learned is that the world is so different now. And the world is so different that you got brothers. Again, I didn't even know this was a thing, y'all. I mean, I'm showing my age here. Forgive me, that are speaking on this.
If I see
Nothing pisses me
Good
off.
Lord, hold
more
on, my
than when a
bad,
man
y'all. Look at me messing up.
my nigga, if I see one more video of a girl talking about something, why is all these girls show up to singles events and it ain't no men? It's 1,000 girls and it ain't no men. I'm like, nigga, have we not learned shit about the internet at this point in time? The internet has been out for so long and we've seen this so many times. What have we established, right? Attractive dudes get bitches. What does that mean? Do you think if you get bitches, do you have to go to a singles event? I'll answer that for you. No. Terrible dudes. What have we established? Terrible dudes always have a girlfriend, always have a wife, because girls seem to like terrible dudes. So therefore, that eliminates the terrible dudes and that eliminates the desirable dudes, right? So that means the dudes that go to singles events, who left? All the niggas that you didn't want. All the niggas that the bitches that couldn't get bitches in real life, or they're not, or they're good dudes, but you ain't want them. You don't want good dudes. Hey, what you want? Because like I said, the terrible dudes always got girlfriend and wives. Who at the singles events? All the good dudes. And what do we establish on the internet? Girls don't like good dudes. So that's why it'd be 1,000 bitches at a single event and like 10 dudes. And ain't none of, and all the girls say, well, ain't none of.
Well, the first thing I will say, y'all, most of the fellas I meet that have motion don't like going to things like that, man. And as a guy that has a group in Houston, Texas, BMBC, I have no problem with fellas showing up. I always hear on the other end, the ladies have the troubles with the guys going up. The reason why, man, we associate different, we talk different, we communicate different, we move different than we used to or anything in this past. Why is this so harmful, King Crowder, man? Why is it such a big deal? Because the secret is out, ladies. The secret sauce, the issue, the problems are out. Dak Prescott and his fiance, giving you an example, reportedly called off their wedding after a massive prenup standoff. After Dak, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, secured a $240 million contract, his fiance, Mrs. Ramos, was supposed to be celebrating their upcoming wedding this April. The rumor is Dak spent the last few months pushing hard for a solid prenuptial agreement to secure his bag. She flat out refused to sign it. The underlying intentions boiled over, and a massive screaming match on a yacht led to the entire wedding being removed. If the lady loved you, if she wanted you, fellas, she would have signed a prenuptial agreement to be with it. This is a microcosm into where we are in society right now. Why is this a watershed moment? Because remember, like I said, y'all, the problems that we have in this country, the political force, the knowledge, the conversation, a lot of fellas are highlighting that the need for a different type of leverage is different. I know this is a little bit off the topic, but I believe this is important to discuss, y'all, because as we have discussed in the FBA political realm, Dak Prescott is a foundational Black American male. He secured his generational wealth. He has children, and he wants to make sure that he can pass down a phenomenal legacy to his underlings. His lady is Latina. I believe that's her name. But she refused to go along with the program that was going to build and put himself in a better direction. So Dak did like all fellas should do. He stood on business. Dak said, if you ain't signing the goddamn documentation, we are canceling the wedding next month. And as he did, she let it ride. He'll probably put himself on child support. He'll probably try to make the best decision for his family. But this watershed moment, ladies and gentlemen, is a microcosm of what's going on in this country. Remember, America never fixed this racism problem. So FBA, the foundation of this country, have decided to move differently and build up ways we can target and go after our own ways of securing the wealth. But the one thing we're not going to do now, y'all, is that the political commentators, and she is one that used to be one on Sports Center. What it do, man? What it do? Jamil Hill got on a live and said this.
They were keeping out the country. Some of y'all don't want the country to look a certain way. Some of y'all think this country is getting a little too brown, a little too dark for your taste. And so you voted to deport and to terrorize certain members of the community because you don't want the community of America to look a certain way. And just admit it. You got people.
They already admitted it, Ms. Hill. Most people have shown with their actions what they align with. The problem we got to understand right now, y'all, is that people get in the booth and show you what they believe in, what they want to support all the time. It is nothing wrong, in my opinion, that people have voted the way they vote. The problem I have is that we get mad when they vote and show us. I don't know why we're having conversations. I don't know why people are acting like this problem about racism and political force has not been there. I don't know why we're going back and forth. People have a discussion on it. What we need to do is hold our members accountable, like me and Mike discussed. We need to make sure that moving forward, all of these accountable discussions, all of these relative issues that need to be rectified, all of these reparations, all of these things that need to be changed, that's what I focus on. But trying to shame voters for showing you how they felt when we have so many real life issues and problems that we need to fix is really the problem to me, because this video right here hit home. As someone that comes from a freedom town, I never thought about it until these brothers said it, y'all. We need the reparations for the repounded black phones.
And every time we created something big, it was destroyed, burned down. Like where?
Wilmington, North Carolina, Eatonville, Rosewood, Tulsa, Philadelphia, Chester, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, North Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina,
in Jersey.
Yeah, anytime we had any infrastructure, two things happened. Have you been to Central Park? You know what Central Park is, right?
It's a park.
No, it's not. Central Park was actually a place called Seneca Village. It was when freed black people decided to converge in one area, and they decided to redistrict that area, even though they owned the land and the houses that they built free and clear, and they destroyed those people, displaced those people, and built a park around it. There's a place called Lake Lanier.
What they are speaking about, y'all, is when black towns have had an ethnic cleansing happen. Let's add Detroit. Let's add Baltimore. Let's add the city of Toledo outside of it. We have freedom towns all across this country. I'm from a freedom town. And the Eisenhower Highway Infrastructure Act went through a lot of black communities, along with the, I can't remember the term that was called, urban renewal. So what he is speaking about right here is how we have had so many black communities gentrified, mean rebranding and taken away from. What that means is that all those neighborhoods where the people that were disenfranchised had to go and live at to create some source of living have been rebranded, i.e. Wilmington, North Carolina, into a Camp Haven, and no money has been dished out to the people that have had the ethnic cleansing actions happen against them. This conversation is so deep. You know the reason why it's so deep? As somebody that currently resides in Houston, Texas, that is a transplant here, knowing how many black towns that were in 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, Sunnyside, South Park, all of those areas are being gentrified and actively being taken advantage of to be rebranded. They are rebranding these black communities without reinvesting into the individuals and reinvest into those properties to be ensured that economic justice and rectification can be given to those Black folks in those areas. Why is it such a big deal, King Crowder? Because when we look at all the historical communities in this country, we have seen this rebranding, ethnic cleansing happen over and over and over and over again. And the watershed moment, the predictable moment that is a big deal about this, y'all, is that right now we are beating the drum. The drum is getting beat. The drum is being hit loud. There has been no conversation change. There has been no conversation pivot. There has been a constant push, focus on economic injustice, economic restoration, and it has to be. The reason why, because when you look at the crime stats and everything else that goes on in this country for many of the foundation, it is always an economic-based issue. It is about a young brother going to a problem, trying to survive an economic inadequacy he is currently in. Survival mode, lack of resources, mama ain't home. We know the stories, right? You wonder why these stories continue to repeat and repeat and repeat. It is because the economic injustice has not been fixed. And the economic injustice can't be fixed if we, A, don't invest, if we, B, don't focus on, and if we, C, do not make a conscientious effort to fix it and do it in real time. And the reason how we do it in real time is we stop emphasizing and feeding other communities. We stop letting the leaders of our communities go other places and not put the resources here. I saw a report this week, y'all, that kind of opened my eyes up. Michelle Obama is from O Block. How many of y'all knew that? All the things that have happened in the school, the gerrymandering, the redistricting, I never knew that Michelle Obama came from that community. She came from that community. I've never heard them saying, I'm going to open an academy, an area, or any type of reinvestment inside that side of town. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That no matter where you are in politics, the mental side of how you're going to invest in your people, not in Nigeria, not in Africa, not in the Caribbean, but the reinvestment for all little girls at home that need it first is not there. And it starts with our generation. I'm not speaking on our parents. I'm not speaking on those that have went past us. I'm saying right now, as me and Will McCall have had on every Sunday, the first step to moving more in the right direction is acknowledging the issues. We acknowledge our problems. We're talking about our problems. We are literally going and having an open conversation about it. And the reason why this is so impactful, because nobody else is doing it on a regular basis or is willing to have an open discourse or conversation about it. Because everybody always puts on us the burden of unification. But as in this one video this brother going to talk and dive into, unification isn't there on the other side either. Take a listen.
Do you believe that FBA has helped clarify the Black American identity, or has it created more division than unity?
So first of all, let me reverse engineer your question for a minute. Show me where unity is. Period, point blank. So if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about all of it, right? I feel like I should. If I'm going to tell it, then never mind. So what I find,
I like this brother, man. I like him.
Interesting is that there are 54 countries on the continent of Africa, and ain't none of them unified, right? Last I checked, the Haitians ain't really messing with the Dominicans like that, so there's no unity there. Jamaicans and Trinidadians, I mean, no beef, but they ain't really rocking with each other. Whenever it's time for one of them to win an award, respectfully, they make sure that they have delineation on their side. The other part of that is when you look in their social media profiles, you'll see their little flags, although they're all over here telling us how we're lazy and we're this and we're that. So my issue is, if you're so great, and let's keep it a buck, the one thing the president did say that I did agree with was that a lot of these places are shithole countries. So if you were so dope, if you were so educated, and let's face it, you are the best of the worst. That's why you're here. That's why y'all got together in your village and y'all put y'all monies up. Y'all done sold all the coconuts you could sold. Y'all done weaved all the bamboo moccasins y'all could come up with, and y'all got your asses on the banana boat and y'all came over here. So you're the best of the worst. And if you were that talented, why is it you can't fix your countries? Why Haiti look like a shit show nobody want to be at?
The one thing I've learned immediately, y'all, is when people say something about unity and they aren't focusing on unity where they are, that is a way to pivot or deflect the conversation. If I use the word unity to you, right? And anytime I use that word unity, I'm saying, why don't you unify first? What I am saying to you in the coded language is, why don't you figure out how to get along with me? Not how can I figure out how to get with you? Not I need to learn what unification looks like to you. I'm saying we are ununified. I'm saying you are not unified on my program. I'm not saying, catch it, how do I get with you? How do I make sure that my people who are disrespectful, disingenuous, and toxic are figuring out a way to unify? I'm changing the conversation. I'm changing the narrative. I'm pivoting away from it, and I'm not addressing the problems on my end. As we said on tonight's live, man, America has never fixed this racism problem. So FBA, the foundation of this country, have built a political force on addressing it for you. And what we are addressing is inadequacies. What we are addressing are problems. What we are addressing is the issues we see all around us. You don't have to like, love, or constantly want everything that we're giving out to you. But what we're trying to do is you understand this is not going anywhere. FBA energy, FBA mindset, FBA thoughts, and FBA mentality are here to stay. I want to thank everybody, man, who tapped in with me tonight, man. I want to thank you for who all tapped in and listened to another edition of Live on Sunday, man. It's your boy, King Crowder. Tap back again with another edition. Remember, y'all, America never fixes racism problem. So FBA has figured out a way to handle it and address it accordingly. On tonight's podcast, I gave you a recommendation for book review. Remember, Words That Sell is a phenomenal read. Add it to your library. Add it to your library. Also, Things I Wish My Parents Would Have Taught Us by your boy, King Crowder. It's out on all platforms at Amazon. Support me in any way that you can. I appreciate anybody and everybody that got to do a tap in with me on Live on Sunday. Next up, Live on Wednesday. We'll be here Wednesday. Along with it, man, make sure you tap in and have your bell and ring the icon to let me know that you're here. Subscribe, share, like, share the live, share the live. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, tapping in with me this evening, man. I don't want you to think I take that for greatly. I appreciate all of y'all so much. What I want you to do, FBA family, November is on the way. The election, the local politics, make sure you have and educate yourself on the talking points and what the vision is. If you have a super neighborhood in your community, I have one locally. I want you to check it out for yourself. Learn who your chapter president is and make sure you ask those same foundational questions. Remember, we are not supporting you because you're black. Do you have black ideas? Do you have black empowerment initiatives? And are you going to have black initiatives and black focused comprehensive politics? If not, we moving the hell on. Until next week, see you another next week for Live on Sunday, and see you Wednesday for another edition of Midweek Tap In. Until next time, I love you. Call your mama, check on your parent. Hey.